Welcome back everybody sa Bulan sa Silanganan. Got our second match of the day right now between Envy, the seed number 8, against WindImpulse, the seed number 12. This is a lower bracket matchup, so whoever of these two players loses in this match, they will unfortunately be bowing out of the tournament entirely. I feel like this match is going to be a bit interesting, especially if you just take a look into the qualifiers and quarterfinal scores between these two players, because they seem to be telling two different stories. WindImpulse during the qualifiers was able to outscore Envy in multiple maps, mostly the Nomads. Envy though has a better record on them on the modded picks, also on Hidden 2. So I think in this matchup, it will be based off the qualifier stats. WindImpulse would want to try and limit the amount of HRs that Envy would be able to pick. You know, on the side of Envy, I think Nomads will be where they will be looking to ban, since that seems to be WindImpulse's strongest mod pool. We'll have to wait and see though, because if you take a look instead at the quarterfinal scores, all the maps that both Envy and WindImpulse played where they have scores together, actually Envy outscores WindImpulse on all of them. So it's interesting to see now what will be the game plan for WindImpulse, because quarterfinals map pool, the star range for that map pool in particular was the closest it will ever get to the qualifiers map pool. So it's almost as if WindImpulse going to have a really rough time trying to get into this matchup. As we see the bans and picks now for both players, WindImpulse with the first ban chooses to ban out HD2. Meanwhile, on the side of Envy, they choose to ban HD3 as well as Nomad 6. So we're now waiting on the final ban on the side of WindImpulse before we get into the first pick of this entire match. And I think it should be a Hard Rock ban. They go for the Hidden 3, but that Hidden 3 is already banned, so that's free now for it's really free for WindImpulse to try and ban practically anything else. I think Hard Rock is the mod pool they should be looking at to find the ban. Still waiting on WindImpulse's second ban. I think they already had their minds set on that Hidden 3 ban. It's just that it got banned before they were able to. So now looking for a second ban, if they choose to go for the DT2 ban. So now we're in the first pick cycle of this match, and it's going to be Envy who picks first, and they immediately go for Hard Rock 3. Usao blows up everything. Now this map involves a lot of bursts and tapping, so definitely something that is in Envy's wheelhouse, so to say. Of course, if it's always during the first pick cycles that you want to get your comfort picks out of the way, just so you can at least get a single point on the board, if anything. Just in case things turn, just in case things take a turn for the worse immediately after your first pick. I think it's a common strategy for practically anybody who plays tournaments. Anyway, good lucks have been sent in chat, so we're just about ready to head on underway for the first map out of a possible 11 in this matchup. Right, unfortunate accuracy drop by WindImpulse during the start of this song. Unfortunately, gives the lead in Invy's side, but that's if you're an Invy fan or if you're Invy themselves, that's practically what you want to see. Still, though, that lead not quite secure just yet, since both players seem to be matching combos, with the trade miss heading on over to the side of Invy on account of that stellar accuracy in comparison to WindImpulse's. Those misses practically happened at the same time, so it's going to be interesting to see whether the misplacement will actually matter much in the grand scheme of things. Another miss coming from WindImpulse, unfortunately, on that burst, which means they will be heading on over to the second half of this map with no combo to try and grapple this lead away from Invy's side. Invy, meanwhile, in perfect position to just up and win this first pick of theirs, as we see another miss coming from WindImpulse. Definitely not having a lot of fun in this map. They have been able to recover a little bit of accuracy, but just accuracy will not be enough, especially on the face of Invy, who after that first miss just hasn't been able to find another miss to add on to the miss count, and with that small cut burst right there, going to be able to extend this lead on account of their combo, which has far past the combo threshold, which means they're getting maximum score for each note that they hit. One final slice of the pie remains for this map, and it's not already obvious unless something extremely disastrous happens on Invy's side, then WindImpulse will unfortunately be losing this first map of this match. Invy, with a comfort pick, Hard Rock 3, definitely showing that this is their forte right now. So that those misplacements actually just missed once in the early part of the map, WindImpulse as well, but it's compounded by like multiple slider breaks. So that means Invy will be winning their first pick, WindImpulse now, to decide the second map of this match. And it will be a Nomad 3. Now, WindImpulse definitely has a penchant for these types of picks. I think all of this skill set that they like, and they were able to outscore Invy in the qualifiers Nomad 3. Unfortunately for them, though, last week Invy had a better score on them on the Nomad 3 pick, so it's going to be confusing now whether or not Invy will be able to steal this breakpoint away, or will WindImpulse's pick remain on their side. Quite a lengthy map, this Nomad 3, clocking in at 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Almost a 4-minute alt map. So not only do these players have to worry about these alt patterns, they have to worry about hitting these alt patterns for almost 4 minutes. So you see Invy already, the first miss of this map. It's going to be traded by WindImpulse, although a bit delayed. But that accuracy from WindImpulse keeping them in the lead for just a little bit, as we see another miss coming from Invy's side as soon as the score lead got to a point where Invy was within striking distance of it. So both players right now matching in terms of combo. Slight advantage still on the side of WindImpulse on account of that earlier score lead that they've had. In terms of accuracy though, Invy has recovered quite nicely. They're now matching WindImpulse, actually surpassing them in terms of accuracy. Unfortunately for them, finding another miss. And a chain miss on those 1, 2, 3 cuts. Which means WindImpulse now, above combo threshold, might be able to run away with the score lead, but unfortunately does find a miss shortly afterwards. So once again, the map opened up for both players, as a third of it has been done and dusted. WindImpulse with the lead in terms of both combo and accuracy. Actually no, just in accuracy. But both players are matching combo until that miss from WindImpulse. So now Invy with a chance to potentially be able to get within striking distance once again of this lead coming from WindImpulse, who is on the recovery as we speak. So we head into the second chorus part right here. Invy almost above combo threshold, which means the score lead is slowly but surely heading on over to their side. But once again, another chain miss. Those cut 1, 2, 3s are really not doing Invy any favors at all. WindImpulse does also find a miss, but at this point, that score lead that they've built up from the first 2/3 of the map, quite significant now for the side of WindImpulse, as both players once again equal in terms of combo. It's just that accuracy once again doing wonders for WindImpulse. Okay, so multiple trade misses coming from both players' sides. It's just that any trade that happens is going WindImpulse's favor, and it shows with this score lead that they've amassed over Windy and over Invy, I meant. And Invy just gave up on those cut streams. Just not having a good time on those patterns, and practically just conceded the map win away to WindImpulse. So both players winning on their opening picks, which is a good sign for both. Hopefully this will continue until one of them eventually breaks the stalemate. So second pick cycle now, with both pick players tied apiece. And Invy immediately going for a different type of tapping. The Nomad 5, which is more on stamina, more on speed tapping. So gonna be interesting to see whether WindImpulse will be able to at least match Invy, keep things close for this pick right here. These two maps couldn't be further apart. Like the only thing these two maps share in common, Nomad 3 and Nomad 5, is that they're both tapping based maps. But this one is more raw tapping speed, and the last one was tapping, a bit of tapping control. It was a swing type. It was a swing type BPM song. So this one is much more straightforward. Let's see how well Wind Impulse will be able to cope, or whether Envy will just be able to run away with this. Still, though, this is Envy's pick, so I'm expecting a really strong performance coming from them. As we see an early miss coming from Wind Impulse's side, giving Envy a really early advantage heading into this map. Okay, so wait, hang on. Practically matching combo is Wind Impulse on the side of both players, but now, as we head into this rather bursty part, both players are actually trading misses. It's just these trades are going Envy's way on account of that accuracy. So once again, it's accuracy that's doing wonders for both players right now. WindImpulse though was practically able to match Envy in terms of combo during that run. Unfortunately for them, finding a miss, which means Envy has a chance to just run away with this lead right now, especially as we're heading into the halfway point of this map. Envy, almost above combo threshold, will reach it. So that means that is maximum score for each node that they hit. WindImpulse still on the recovery. Try and keep things close. 2/3 of the maps in the book. WindImpulse still trailing by about 90k, maybe even more. Meanwhile, Envy just running away with this lead right now, especially since that combo really good for them. But WindImpulse actually recovered. They're also above combo threshold, so going to be crucial now. Whoever finds the first miss, and it's going to be WindImpulse, giving Envy all the runway they need to just run away with this lead. But unfortunately, they also find the miss. A quarter of the map remains. Both players in recovery mode, but the longer they are in recovery mode, the more it will be on the side of Envy, since the earlier score that they've had, WindImpulse still has to catch up, and with the final slice of the map remaining, I don't think they would be able to quite do what they would want. And Envy now leading by 1 as we head into the 4th pick, which will be decided by WindImpulse. A little bit of a toilet break coming from the side of Envy. While they're waiting for that though, WindImpulse goes ahead and picks Nomad 4, the tech pick. Heliosphere by Varso. Or is it? It's Vorso. I think similar logic as to why they picked the Noma 3. I think they want to keep testing Envy in terms of aim control and unconventional aim. Still anyone's game practically. This is WindImpulse's pick, so I expect them to be able to get a nice score on this, to tie things at 2 apiece and turn this best of 11 to a best of 7. Alright then, so a few things in this intro section of this map. Invy suffered from a really bad accuracy drop, but has since recovered quite nicely. Wind Impulse finding multiple misses on these weird sliders. Just not able to find the slider head, and some of these just miss aiming them a lot. Meanwhile, on the side of Invy, they find their first miss. It's traded by Wind Impulse, but it's a trade that goes their way. Yeah, that intro part really brutal for this map. As you see, more misses coming from the side of Wind Impulse in this more burst heavy section of the Nomad 4 pick. Which means halfway into the map, it is Invy threatening to be able to take this breakpoint away from Wind Impulse. Free combo section right here for both players, who are still even in terms of combo, and they're immediately thrust back into the fire as these weird patterns coupled with these weird sliders return into the fray. Invy navigating through this section quite well, even better than Wind Impulse probably expected, which means their grip on this lead going to be uncontested. So 1/3 of the map remains. Wind Impulse going to have to be practically perfect from now on, and also hope that Invy finds multiple misses to even try to win this own pick. Another miss coming from Invy's side, which means it's Wind Impulse now in prime position to make a comeback, and they do. The score now on the side of Wind Impulse as the map comes to a close. But the miss coming from them, will it be enough for Invy to take that lead back? And it is very close, but it is not going to be quite enough. Wind Impulse survives an early breakpoint from Invy. It was looking almost scary there at the start, just Invy able to find better combo runs than Wind Impulse. Fortunately for them, finding that 400 combo run near the end, as Invy starts finding multiple misses, is going to give Wind Impulse their second point, tying things up. And what a way to do it, honestly. And with that, Invy immediately going for the Hard Rock 1. Expectedly, this is Invy's strongest mod pool. Outside of DT, probably. And in this matchup, Invy can just give... I think Invy is being a bit... How do I say this? They're being a bit conservative for on these Hard Rock picks, just in case they need a Hard Rock pick to come in clutch, like a get out of jail free card. Which now only Hard Rock 2 remains after this. So we head on over to Hard Rock 1, pick number 5 out of a possible 11 maps. Invy definitely the favorite in terms of the Hard Rock picks in this matchup. But let's see if Wind Impulse can prove otherwise. As early into this map, both players matching in terms of combo, just that accuracy coming from Invy, giving them a slight advantage, but it's equalized now. So now it's... Oh, but an early miss coming from Invy's side. That's actually a lot detriment. Actually a really detrimental miss. because we head into this first chorus section with Wind Impulse finding a miss as well. But they were able to find themselves in the lead for quite a bit. Now the pendulum swings on over to the side of Invy's favor, as two misses from the side of Wind Impulse on that chorus section make that three. Means in Invy just recovering pretty well, extremely well actually, as the first third of the map concludes. Invy in the lead by 70k and growing stronger with each note that they hit. WindImpulse finds another miss on that accelerating burst, which means Invy now has the opportunity to just run away with the score lead that they have. Finds a chain miss on that accelerating burst as well, but still a lot of runway, a lot of score that WindImpulse has to catch up on. And that's going to be a tall order, especially since they're nowhere near the combo threshold. So your WindImpulse, you're going to have to hope that you see more misses coming from the side of Invy, but unfortunately that won't be the case, as WindImpulse themselves will be the one finding a miss. As the third of the map remains, Invy still in the lead by 120,000 and growing stronger as WindImpulse unfortunately finds a miss aiming on this rather easy build-up section. Both players do find misses on the accelerating bursts once again, which means that will be a trade going on over to Invy's side. Finale section of this map, one final quarter. WindImpulse at this point, with their combos matching, not going to be able to do much to try and contest this, as Invy, with a decisive score lead, will be taking their third point of this match. A really impressive score coming from Invy of 454,000 on the Hard Rock one. Really goes to show how comfortable they are in this mod pool. WindImpulse now going to have to decide which map they should pick to be the equalizer, to tie things up again, this time three apiece, and turn this match into a best of five. And they go for the Nomad 2 stream pick. This is this is happy birthday. Happy birthday, but if it was a BMS. So WindImpulse quite straightforward in their game plan against Invy. It's just tapping. Like how on point is your tapping game, good sir? Because I feel like I'm feeling really great in tapping, but how about you? That seems to be the case, at least. Still though, Envy not a slouch in terms of stream, so going to be real interesting whether we might be potentially seeing the first breakpoint of this match, honestly, because Envy is no slouch in terms of streams as well. So I must say this is a pretty ballsy pick coming from WindImpulse's side. As we see early misses coming from the side of WindImpulse going to give Invy the lead in terms of both accuracy and combo. Finally though, Invy finds a miss in those rather spaced streams, which means WindImpulse now has the opportunity to snag this lead away from Invy's hands, prevent a breakpoint from happening. Still Invy on the recovery though, and both players actually matching each other in terms of gameplay. It's just that WindImpulse having a better misplacement than Invy, being earlier on in the map, means they're above combo threshold right now, and actually so is Invy. So now it's just a matter of accuracy, and that's in terms of that, then Invy is definitely winning. But another miss coming from them once again on the rather spaced streams. Let's just say spaced streams. And WindImpulse does find a trade, but once again, misplacements matter. And Invy is holding combo until they're not. A chain miss as we head into the halfway point of this map, which means WindImpulse in prime position to just run away with this score lead. Drawing the letter H in lowercase with serif. And Invy did not. Invy showing that they really did not like that miss at all. Just making an absolute mess with the smoke feature on their entire screen. WindImpulse still maintaining that combo they had from before the break part. 1/4 of the map remains, but at this point, I think still anybody's game with WindImpulse finding a miss first. As soon as Invy is just about to hit combo threshold, it's going to be really scary for them now. And another miss coming from WindImpulse, and yep, that's going to be Invy with the score lead. It immediately switched on over to their side, but Invy finds a miss of their own. So their scoring potential snapped for a little bit as WindImpulse on the recovery. Both players still matching each other in terms of gameplay though, so it's going to come down to who misses first, and it's going to be Invy. One slice of the pie remains, and WindImpulse, in a closely contested Nomad 2 pick, will be able to tie things up as both players hit those final sets of streams. WindImpulse with their third point. A really close matchup between these two players turns this best of 11 into a best of 5 with Invy with the next pick. Yeah, that's these scores coming from them in this Nomad 2. Just this is a great parallel to how close this matchup is. So now it's Invy's pick yet again. We have yet to see a DT get picked in this matchup. There's still DT1, DT2, DT3, and DT4 available for both players to pick. Meanwhile, on the side of practically everything else, Nomad only has one more map, Hidden only has one more map, Hard Rock only has one more map. Whether they like to or not, they're going to have to start veering on over to the double time territory. And that will be the Hard Rock 2 pick by Invy. So no more Hard Rocks going forward in this contest. Invy inquiring about timeout length might be looking for a timeout themselves. So, after a barrage of first aim of this matchup, which is this Hard Rock 2 precision pick. Going to be a while before these, before this Horror 2 starts though. The timeout's still in effect, so unsure whether when Invy will return for this map. So I guess we're just going to be sitting here and reflecting on how close this matchup is actually. Yeah, initially heading, I'm going to be completely honest. Initially heading into this matchup, I was expecting this to be a rather one-sided affair onto the side of Invy, because WindImpulse's scores last week had me worried for them in this matchup. I thought that maybe the SR might be catching up to them, that they're starting to not be quite comfortable with the SR. Turns out to not be the case. And outside of losses, is actually the most. This is actually the most points Invy has conceded, or at least ties the most points that they've conceded. Oh no, wait, no, it's actually against another player, but TMC Junior, and that's the reason why they're in the lower bracket for the semifinals.
Although both players trading misses, which means Invy struggling to reclaim this lead even with the accuracy advantage. But now with those trade misses from both players, WindImpulse is actually still actually retaining this lead, but not quite for long. Especially with Invy finding at least a decent combo run now. 100 combo to WindImpulse is 60. That coupled with the accuracy lead that Envy has means WindImpulse is going to be trailing behind as we head into the second half of this map. More misses coming from the side of WindImpulse is going to give Envy a lot of leeway to run away with the score lead right now. 1/3 of the map remains, and another miss coming from WindImpulse is going to further increase Envy's already massive advantage over them. So Envy finally finding solid ground after both players not having a good first half of this map. Trading misses, but it's a trade that will head to Envy's favor on account of the earlier score lead that they've built. One final quarter of the map remains, and both players actually getting caught by the slow slider. So unfortunately for WindImpulse, again, it's another trade miss. So they're still playing from behind with 1/4 of the map remaining. And as long as nothing catastrophic happens on over to the side of Envy, this is going to be safely their point. As you see, once again, more trade misses coming from both players. It's not going to matter anymore. Envy going to be able to take this fourth point on their side.
So with that out of the way, it's actually that's the final Hard Rock pick. I'd just like to reiterate in the remaining in this pool. So from this point onwards, some experimentation has to be done, I think. And WindImpulse will also be taking the final hidden of this pool with the HD1 pick. So WindImpulse, going to continue the onslaught of some non-conventional, I think, non-conventional maps to try and take this point away, tie things up, and turn this contest into a best of three. Will this gambit be successful though? We're just going to have to find out then. So we're about to head on their way into the 8th map of a possible 11. With WindImpulse trailing behind by 1 point, this is their pick, so if anyone can make things happen, it's going to be them. Okay, so after that extremely brutal start, Envy unfortunately finding a miss early, but still able to take this lead away from WindImpulse on account of that accuracy gap that both players have. WindImpulse below 95% finds a chain miss, which means this lead on Envy's side going to be much more solidified. They also do find the miss themselves, but there's still that accuracy, so WindImpulse during the first third of this map finding themselves on the back foot. As you see more misses coming from them in this first TI section. For Envy's side though, just smooth sailing does find a miss during those cut bursts. But it's nothing in comparison to WindImpulse, who's just consistently been finding misses throughout. So that's 2/3 of the map already in the books, and WindImpulse is down by 80,000 and it's growing strong. Drops a bit of accuracy, but still keeps the combo though. So 1/4 of the map remains, and Envy finds a crucial miss, but it's traded by WindImpulse. I feel like that might have been WindImpulse's last out to try and get back into this map. Unfortunately for them, things just not quite working in their favor as a final slice of the pie remains in the progress bar. And Envy still maintaining that combo means finally we get to see the first breakpoint of this otherwise extremely close matchup. WindImpulse trailing by 2, and that is match point for Envy as well as we head on over to their next pick, which is going to be interesting since Hard Rock's off the menu. It's just Nomad 1 and the DTs left. So the final pick cycle between these two players to decide whether or not they will move on to the second round of the semifinals. WindImpulse now fighting for their tournament life, as one more map win coming from Invy would mean that they would be bowing out of this tournament. So now we wait with bated breath for what map Envy would choose as the possible coup de grace. As you can see on the screen right now, it's only Nomad 1 left for the Nomads. DT1, DT3, and DT4 for the double times, and Envy decides to go for the double time 1 pick. Consistency double time. Yes. Right, we're heading in. Pick number 9. WindImpulse fighting for their tournament life. Invy fighting to secure a spot in the top 8. And both players keeping things close in the early part of this map. Just Invy with an accuracy advantage over WindImpulse. But that lead is fragile since both players are matching combo. It's going to come down whoever misses first as we head into this first KI section right here. Invy running away with it in terms of the accuracy. And WindImpulse unfortunately breaking the stalemate with a miss of their own. Oh, but Invy does find a miss on that triple though. So things still a bit close. 2 misses on the side of Invy. WindImpulse has to recover. Unfortunately finds a miss on that triple. On that slider. It's going to be disastrous for them. As we head on over to the halfway point of this map. It's still Invy with the lead. Both players matching themselves in terms of combo. It's just WindImpulse unfortunately misreading that pattern right there. It's going to lead to another miss. Invy just showcasing just how more comfortable they are than WindImpulse in these types of maps. They do find another miss, but WindImpulse with no combo to try and push things, try and get the lead away from Invy. Another miss coming from them. It's going to mean Invy's just going to run away with this. One final quarter of the map remains and no combos on either player's side. It's good news on the side for Invy, bad news starting to become really worse for WindImpulse. They dropped below 90% accuracy, and at this point, I don't think even if they do this next part of the map perfectly, they would be able to do anything since the score lead already unsurmountable on the side of Invy. And as we approach the final patterns of this map, final spinner, it is GG's. Invy will move on to the second round of the semifinals. WindImpulse bowing out of the tournament after a really close matchup until that final pick cycle, which is unfortunate for them. It was just that one break point on the hidden one that decides things. So, congratulations to Invy. The 8th seed will be moving on to the top 8. Well played still for WindImpulse for keeping things close. For now though, I think let's take a look at the bracket for a bit. Invy will be facing off against the winner between Lansky and Zcid. So that's actually 2 players already in the top 8. That's Pillowy who won earlier and Invy who won just. We've got, I think, one more match. We've got one more match today, and that is actually no. Well, technically yes. Like one more match today. It's Lansky versus Zcid in the same bracket. That's in 30 minutes from now, and at midnight today, I believe it is Yuan and Kali 4. So definitely stay tuned for some more RSS matches. For now, though, that will be this will be it for now as we wait for the next match, which will be Lansky versus Zcid. My name is Aida34, and I will also be casting that match. So, well, see you guys later, I guess.